think we're going live. Now the problem is I had told everyone that I would go live on YouTube. And I thought I was kind of set up to go live on YouTube. Come to find out, I wasn't. So I'm trying to figure out quickly on my phone how to let everybody know that I'm not going to be live on YouTube. I'm going to be live on Facebook. So I'm trying to figure out how to, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I'm smart enough to figure out how to go to YouTube and say, go to Facebook. because I thought I was set up, and I'm not. And I apologize to everyone who hope, you know, because I know a lot of my followers on my blog are not on Facebook. So, hi, John. Nice to see you here. Anyway, so we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to do this, and then maybe I'll just post this over on the YouTube once I get everything set up, and people will just have to see my apology there. So anyway, just normal life going on here, John. It's kind of, I was going to go out and do this outside. I now have a Wi-Fi extender, so I can actually go out as far as my studio, and I can kind of sit there in my studio if I'm really still, and I can post things to Instagram. I actually posted a, hi Shay, hey Jeannie. I posted a video on my Instagram account the other day that I actually took right there, just a picture of the field, and I uploaded it to YouTube, and it was awesome to be able to do that. So the only thing is I can't have it on all the time, because then it messes with our regular Wi-Fi, and don't ask me why, because that stuff's beyond me. So if you know of anybody that was going to watch me on YouTube, text them, please, and let them know that I'm here on Facebook. And I had a few questions that I was going to go over. That was the whole purpose for this thing, was to have a question and answer, just a visit thing. And so now I feel really strange, because those people that are expecting to see my question and answer are going to have to see it late, and they can't ask a question. So I feel really bad, but we're going to go ahead. We're going to move ahead, power on, and I will get my YouTube account straightened out. And maybe they're not going to let me do it, because there is a, depending on which kind you get, you have to have so many followers, and I am not near enough with the followers on YouTube. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about some of these, and I think if you guys ask a question, I can see who's coming in and joining in the crowd, so if you have a question, you can go ahead and hopefully put it in the chat, and maybe I'll be able to see it. But I'm going to go off my blog, all the comments that are on my blog, and answer those to get us going. So Joan asked about using dogs when we're herding calves, and is it too much danger if the mom is taking offense? Well, when the comment that I made the other day was with baby calves, because of course most of the year we do have calves and we move them, but they're older. But when they're newborns, the mothers are very, very, very protective, and you end up, if the dog goes up there and begins to, do what dogs are supposed to do, which is urge the cattle on, then the moms will turn around and come back to, defend their babies. They think they have to defend their babies, and so you're not making progress. You're making out, and then they're turning around and coming back. And so that's why it's like herding cats sometimes. with mamas and new babies. And so at that point in time, you really want your dogs to stay back. We don't really push or anything. So that's why on this, that one, it was a Throwback Thursday post that I did, and that was the comment. Lucas was very good about staying back far away from the mamas. So let's see other other comments. Pamela, she said, with all those numbered tags, how many calves are you expecting this season? That was pertaining to my Black and White Wordless Wednesday post just a couple days ago. And so it's the table in our calving shed, and it's got all the ear tags lined out, and it's got, I can't remember what else was there, the instruments for the taggers, and I think the scale was there and different things. And anyway, those are just our heifer calves. Those are the first time calvers. And I think right there, if you just count, if you look at the tags, they all start with 9, because that was the year the moms were born, was 19, right? So then we start, their tags all start with 9. And so to match their mom's tag, these calves all get their baby numbers, which start with 9 as well. And then it just goes through however many calves we have in the heifers. And so I think there was, I mean, if you just look at the picture and count, I think there was 105 or something like that. Oop, can't go away with my comments. But that, of course, does not include our cows. And again, I can kind of reiterate this. I have to answer this question every once in a while, because people, that's the first thing people ask: how many cows do you have and how many acres do you own? And we're just an average size ranch. Hi Lori, hi Tammy, and Kim, I missed you. Anyway, those are always the popular questions, you know, how many acres do you own? Because that's what people can relate to, I guess. But I am from the generation that kind of grew up believing that if people knew how many cows and how many acres you had, they knew how much money you might make, and that was considered rude. I don't know if it still has that connotation with the next generation of kids. I should ask my sons if they think that's a kind of a rude question, because I wouldn't walk up to you and say, hey, you know, how much do you earn a year? That's like one of the first questions. But a lot of people don't realize that connotation that it has for a lot of farmers and ranchers. And like I said, that might be a generational thing as well, that there are just questions like that you just don't ask, you know. And a lot of times I will deflect, I think is the proper term they say, and just say, you know, they go, how many cows do you have? And you always go, too many. Let's see, Pamela found my video, my mountain lion video, because she had a very similar mountain lion video over the mountain near Sheridan, and so she was thrilled to find mine. She had drag marks in the snow, like that's kind of how we found ours initially. But Pamela is also an author, and we have her books at the Tin Slate Library, so cool. Hi, Pamela. I don't know if you go by Pam or Pamela, so anyway. Thanks for being a follower on the blog. We're going to scroll down and find another question. Oh, excuse me. Who was this? Joan. Joan asked, about my mountain lion video. She was very impressed on how far I could zoom in with my camera. And she wanted to know what was the camera, the lens, was it a GoPro? I was completely mesmerized. Someone said it was like National Geographic. I think it was better than that. Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate that comment. But I wish I had that National Geographic kind of camera. And then she made comments about how it was acting exactly like a house cat, and that's why I put all that in there, and that kind of made it an extra long video. But yeah, I was amazed. You know, she's sharpening her claws, and she's licking herself, and she's eating grass, and you're like, yeah, that was exactly like a regular house cat. Now let me grab my camera. It's just right out of frame over here, so I have to stand up and reach my camera, because I usually have it close to hand. And that's specifically why I love this camera so much, because you know, if you're down in other parts of the country and you're on 200 acres or whatever, you have a lot of trees and you can't see, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is that you know, my family's basically from Oklahoma, and down in south central Oklahoma, and I took my kids down there once, and they were like, well, we can't see anything, there's trees. And so, you know, which is totally different from out here in Wyoming, where you know, everything's out there quite a ways. And so I have a big camera. I have a couple of bigger cameras than this, you know. But you can't pack those easily. And everything I want to shoot is usually way out there. The action shots I get when we're working cattle, if I was right in the middle and couldn't zoom, I would be messing things up, and I would be in trouble, because that's not what you do. So when I found this little camera, I think I just bought another one, and I think this is either my third, maybe my fourth camera. I'm not really sure. And the reason why is because these, you know, just, it's a little pocket, right? It's just a little bitty thing. And you can see this one, see that? That's because dirt gets in there. Dirt and straw, and then your lens isn't protected. And then when you're taking pictures and you've got the right lighting, then you see dust in the lens. See, so this one that can mess up a shot really quick when you've got your lens covered. And that's just because I abuse these cameras. I take them and I throw them in my pocket, and they're in my saddlebags. And I mean, I've got a case, but I mean, it's amazing how many times I just stick them in my sweatshirt pocket. I'm usually wearing a sweatshirt. Yeah, and it's amazing how many times I kind of stick them in my pocket and then realize how much dust and hay and straw and, you know, sawdust or whatever I have in my pockets. And that gets in my camera. Now, I have gotten to the point now where I've got a couple of cameras, and I'm going to be bold, and I'm going to tear into one of these, because I figure if I screw one up, I've got parts that I can fix. And so I'm going to get in and see if I can clean all the dirt from, anyway, of the lens. But I'm going to try and show you this. See if I can get a good background, whatever. But that's just normal. That's the normal lens. And then when you zoom, it zooms way out. And so, of course, a lot of that is digital zoom at the very end, which digital zoom is not really great. It just pixelates. But this is a 40X. You can see that. It's a Canon. This is an SX740HS. That's probably backwards on your camera, but anyway. I love these little cameras, and like I said, this is either my third or fourth one, and I think it's my fourth one because I had one and I hadn't had it very long, and I took Quinlan fishing, and of course, you know, he snagged his hook on something, and I had to wade in the creek, and I had my camera on my belt, and I got in a little deeper than I should. And I ruined that camera like a couple months after I bought it. So not the best thing to do with a brand new camera. But anyway, I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to get my screwdrivers out, and I'm going to work on that. And I can't see any comments, so I'm not really sure why. I can make a comment. But anyway, so if you guys are asking questions, I really apologize because I'm not really up on this. But I'm just going to keep going for a little bit longer. I'm sitting here at my table, and I am working on some of these that one's not. Here we go again. Some of these, and I just I'm doing the last step on them, which is dyeing them. Not dyeing. What am I doing? I'm putting on staining. That's what I'm doing. Wood staining on those. And so I wood stain them. I really like this one. Wood staining, and then they'll be about ready to go. That one I kind of like. Though I realized I didn't put Wyoming on that, but oh well. And then I have a couple of custom ones. If you're still here, they are finished up, but I won't show them just in case somebody's watching that shouldn't. But there's one I done. Let me see that one, and I'm kind of I kind of go back and forth on these a little bit because I paint them, right, and they're brilliant, and then I put the wood stain over them, which I think adds a lot to them. But it also fades out the paint. Let's see, I like this one. It fades out the paint, which is part of why I like it, but then again, sometimes the brighter ones are kind of better. And then I'm starting these two. This is, is it going to focus? Earrings. Yeah. And I have all sorts of stuff going with that. I have some feathers, right? And then I've got some that are bigger. Now I understand. Hi, Victoria. Oh, I do see your comment. Thanks. This one. And I understand that big earrings are in, right? But Victoria mentioned to me, well, why don't you just have them to where they could be necklaces as well? And I was like, she's a smart girl, my daughter. And there's that. Yeah. And this is my favorite so far. Oh, you see that teepee? Oh, glare. Can't really get that one. Try that. Better. And then I have two of these, and I don't know if the little painted ponies, and they're different, but anyway, so I'm sitting here playing around, and I'm trying to finish these up for some people that had requested things. Ooh, I know. Which one was that? Did you like the teepee one? That was one of my favorite. But I almost thought that I should put a glow inside that teepee, you know, like it really would. But anyway, so I'm kind of sitting here doing that, and then I was going to see if there was any more questions about things. since that was kind of the thought of this. And let's see. Oh, I have to go through all the shooting stars. Ooh. She's a smart girl. Okay. So anyway, the last question was on my camera. And then, the video I had of Jackson, and I called that one Work Ethic. And every once in a while I try something new, and I tried WordPress's video upload, and obviously it didn't work for everybody. So I apologize on that, but I went ahead and put that Work Ethic video over on YouTube, so that's available, and then I went back and changed the links. So for those of you that missed the Work Ethic video with Jackson, it should be available to see now. Jean asked again about the mountain lions, because that kind of held me in thrall for a while. And she said, how concerned are you about riding or hiking alone through the area? I'm not really concerned. Mountain lions have been here way before we were ever here, and the ranch has been here for 112 years, and we've never had an incident. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of them this year, but they've always been there. We've always known they're there. The video just happened to be a compilation of just actually getting to the chance to video them. So it's not that big of a shock to know they're there. It does make Tess runs. She's a half marathon kind of girl with a neighbor, and so they backed off of running, because they would run 5 in the morning when it's still dark, and so they were a little concerned. And of course, there's a lot of teasing going back and forth. You only have to run faster than the person you're running with, right? But riding or anything, they could be anywhere we go. They are anywhere. They're just watching us, and we just don't ever know it. So, welcome to a fan from Germany who first commented. So, Annette, thank you very much for joining the group. And then let's see, we'll keep going. Does anybody else have any questions about pretty much anything? So some of you really don't like videos, and so you say you pass on all my videos. Well, sorry for that, but I think the videos have a lot to add to my blog, and I have over 100 videos that I transferred. I had them on Vimeo, and then I transferred over to YouTube, because everybody goes to YouTube. And so that was, sorry, I'm trying to read and talk at the same time, and I'm not really that good. And I'm trying to find other questions about, and most of them are just comments about the mountain lion. So, and the other thing was on Valentino. I think I have a ton of comments about that. And I just don't know what you say about that. I just know that you try. You just try. So there was a couple questions back on one of my earlier videos that had the calf running around, and we had used Velcro at that time on his leg to mark who it was. And that's just a temporary thing for identifying the calf, because, you know, trying to tell Angus calves apart is kind of tricky. And of course, they've got to stay with their mom. And as first-time mothers, they don't always take good care of their babies like they should. So we mark their mom's number on a piece of Velcro and wrap it around their one of their front legs. And that's because if it's really, really cold, baby calves' ears are very susceptible to cold. A lot of that has to do with their moms licking them, and so those ears remain wet. And when you have wet ears and it's really cold, then they freeze. And then when they freeze, they're just frostbitten and they just fall off, right? Parts of them, not necessarily the whole ear. Not usually the whole ear, because there's enough at the base to keep them warm. So we don't put tags in their ears when it is so cold, just to kind of help prevent that whole thing from happening. So some people had asked about that, and I think that's probably about all that I've gotten lately in comments on my blog. Now, if you comment on my Facebook posts, I'm not looking at those right now, but anyway, I didn't want this to drag on and on and on and on and on. And I think we've about, hey Donna, hey Karen, I think we've about covered the most recent questions I have. If any of you that are still watching have comments, go ahead and ask them right now, and then I will, oh, I know what else I can show you. Well, you guys, if you want to type anything in the comments. I know my coffee's getting cold. Show you something else I've been working on that I'll probably just put down in the local store, but I've had these for quite a while. I think I've shown them to you before, and they're just refrigerator magnets that I, found a lid for. But I love these old vintage trailer things, and so I've just painted on stones that I've collected from the creek, and that one had a wreck. Let's move that one around. And then of course I did a couple of birds, and my birds are kind of goofy. I don't mind the baby chicks, but these are kind of strange looking birds. But that's been kind of fun. And so that's basically what I've been working on have I do have some bigger wood burning projects that I'm going to start after I finish this batch. I have these little wooden ones I need to paint and get them going. Once I finish this batch, I'm going to start on some bigger items. One of those is going to be a table for Megan, which is going to be a big job. And then I have a couple other things. I know you can't hear it, but there is a sandhill crane flying by, and we love to see sandhill cranes up here because that's definitely a sign that spring is on its way. And they just showed up. Oh, I think I heard one like 3 days ago, and I was so excited. And bluebirds are next. And my turkey vultures are not back, but they usually do not come any earlier. If there's snow, they're not. They're smart. They're not everybody's favorite birds, but they're usually the ones that come right at the very end when you know it's going to get warm. So I think that's it. I have, like, the big projects will be coming. I have a piece of furniture sitting in my mudroom that needs to be out of my mudroom, so I need to do that one. And I think I'm going to, on that one, I'm going to be putting teepees on like that. And so I can sell that and get that out of my mudroom because it's just taking up space. And then Megan's table is going to have sunflowers on it. So I'm attempting a few things that are bigger. But this is what I like to do. As my daughter, who was on here just a minute ago, I don't know if she still is, but she can attest that I usually take over the dining table. Even though I've got a studio, even though I have a room in here where I do a lot of stuff. My Indian room is what I call it. I still managed to take over the dining table. So, I don't know why. I don't know. But, anyway, I guess, oh, you are still here. Yay. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for the day. The big storm has not arrived here. Hopefully it doesn't. But I do feel for the people that are expecting 2 to 3 feet of snow this weekend and with high winds. And right now, they are just predicting a couple of inches right here, which is nice. But we did start off with blue sky this morning, and now it's all gray and just a puff of breeze out there so far. The snow is retreating on the fields around the edges. You still don't want to hike across the field. Yeah, Victoria, you probably inherited that from me. Dining table is the craft table. It doesn't matter if you have a different place. I don't know why that is. But anyway, so next time I do this, I might, if the weather's nicer, we might just do this down by the studio. And I will figure out what is wrong with YouTube and why they won't let me go live. And it might be just because I don't have enough followers. Which, you know, read the fine print, Carol. You could probably figure that stuff out. But I apologize for those that I said I was going to be on YouTube and I'm not there. And then hopefully I can figure out how to save this because I couldn't save my last one. I need my daughter to come help me. Alright, so that's it. We're going to call it a day. I'm going to go out there and let my chickens out. My chickens been laying their eggs other places besides the coop, so they have to stay in longer, get their business done before they get out. Alright, so I guess that's it. Thanks for stopping by and visiting with me, and we'll do this again sometime. Alright, thanks guys.